Let's finish up our team challenges for today. Forensic science, your team, it's Judgment Day. Who did it? What happened? Explain to me.
Howard Weinberg's style of teaching goes beyond the typical hands-on approach.
Okay, the three people's hair.
He uses a program called Synergistics, which requires his students to work together as a group.
Synergistics is a hands-on, technology-based laboratory. Everything is from the STEM program: science, technology, engineering, and math. And each student works with another student in a team at a harbor under a specific title called a suite.
The 4 suites are forensic science, intelligent systems, engineering, and multimedia.
They learn a lesson for approximately 7 days with a hands-on lab. Then they get together. Their test would be a team challenge, and they would sit around a table, and each of the 3 harbors within one suite would get together and solve a challenge.
The mouth is going to pick something up, like let's say a piece of paper, and then it'll pick it up and then drop it again.
We're building a bridge.
And after you're finished with it, we put it in the stress tester, which tests, what is it,
Torsion and tension.
And it pretty much puts pressure on it to see like the durability of it.
So we're up to 140 foot-pounds of torque, 148. We found that the weak spots were right over here, where there was less triangle shapes. The team approach has a lot of advantages and disadvantages from each student's point of view. I want to be with my friends. In the real world, all your friends don't work at the same job.
He'll be recording them and they'll be doing their newscast. And then that microphone is hooked up to the computer over here and they'll be listening and changing the levels and making sure that everything's okay so we don't have music louder than the voices and just making sure everything's even.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is...
So basically what we do here is we take pictures in front of the green screen or videos, and then in place of the green screen, we'll put something in the background. For here we put SBHS News because we're shooting right now a newscast. So being a lab manager, you definitely have to have leadership skills and make sure that everyone's always on task, and if someone's having a problem, always help them out. I was not a lab manager when I first started taking the class, so I learned my skills from my previous lab managers, and so I know how to work the programs better than they do, so if they don't understand, I'll help them out with that.
In school news, we have now stricter uniform policies.
It develops skills that other students don't really have the opportunity to develop, and maybe these students will want to go into this in their futures and go to college and major in stuff like this, and it's really awesome to have that opportunity.
Over here we have the Forensic Science Department. We have Crime Lab, which is doing chromatography at this time. We have Crime Scene, which is evaluating the crime scene and what happened over there. Over here we have Evidence Analysis. The word synergy alone represents a whole bunch of ideas coming together to form a different idea. And that's what happens here. It just happens to be my thing. I really excel with when a lot of things are organized chaos, as we call it here.
Every Thursday, I put up a crime scene and they have to solve it. This is actually a homicide. It's attempted to look like a suicide.
I want to be collecting the evidence.
And my job is the lab technician. When she's done collecting the evidence, she usually sends it to me, and I check it out in the lab. Well, in order to test it, we add specific chemicals to it, and we see how they react. And once we see how they react, it allows us to find out what type of chemical it is.
Basically, my job is to take pictures of the evidence and present it to the police.
We took a sample of the hair and we put it on a plate with a liquid. It's like nail polish remover. It's similar. We take a close-up picture with different lenses, and gives us different detail about the hair, and gives us an easier match when we go over there to match it. You never want to see someone behind. You always want someone to be where you are. You want everyone to be doing the same thing, everyone's hands-on, make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be. Because once one person's down, then that ruins the whole team. You're a team, so you want to move up and progress together.
I like to think that my job should be to teach them how to think. And because there's so many different diverse things in here, so many different ways of learning, so many different things of happening, if I can teach them how to think, then they should be able to accomplish anything they want in life, any subject.
This was one of our projects we had to do. We had to do a movie trailer, and we wrote a script, and then we went out and filmed, and we have animation in the front.
Practice makes perfect.
Each suite brings and mentions the different careers associated with every topic. So they have an idea of, oh, this is interesting to me, I'd like to go in on that. I just love the way this program is. I like the way that the kids learn from it, and I can see it. They may not realize that they're learning, but I just see it and I feel it all the time. I live in town, I teach in town, and I see the results all over. Being here for the students, I treat these students like they're my children, and I need to be here for them.